Hey, John Lithium, what's going on? I'm just getting my thing set up here because this game won't let me do windowed mode, so I have to rearrange everything so I can use the full screen. There we go. Right. And also, there we go. Oh, actually, put that down. There we go. There we go. There we go. Also going to put this over here. And oh. What the fuck? Hey, what's going on, Pink? What's going on, Etch? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Just rearranging a couple things here. There we go. Give me a sec. And then let me post that I'm live. Spider-Man news and playing games. All right. Let me see. Hey, 1K. Indeed. Natch, what's going on, Natch? Thank you for liking the stream. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out. Let me post in the Discords. Games. What? That's all right. Welcome, folks. We did hit 1,000. It's great. I love it. Okay. So I got monetized technically a little while ago, right? Where you're allowed to get super chats, right? So then I had to set up some kind of AdSense account, and it's like, okay, using this one email, and then I got monetized again, getting 1,000 subs, and you have to monetize again. You have to I don't know. I think they're gonna just send me something like a PIN number in the mail, snail mail, and then I gotta put it in maybe to check that I'm a real person. Etch, I just saw that you posted Jackson Hinkle. Not Jackson Hinkle, Jesus Christ. Jackson White. Do you have his contact anything? Because that would be helpful for me. Oh, he's back. Okay, cool. Where was he? He was taking vacation or a break? All right, so cool. If you could send him my way on Discord or Twitter or Blue Sky, any of the three, tell him to DM me. That'd be great. Actually, let me. Oh, I missed Saul on Majority Report. I'll have to watch that later. All right, folks. So we. No, I don't. Okay, sweet. Folks, we are going to be watching a little bit of Spider-Man reviews and talking about Spider-Man and what, the news and whatever's going on today. I got some videos I've been meaning to watch. Those are my streams now. Videos I've been meaning to watch and I think y'all might enjoy. What's the secret to growing your subs, brother? I wish I knew. You know what it is? It's honestly collaborating with bigger streamers. That's it. That's the difference. That's it. All right. You know what I'm going to do? I have a separate window open with my YouTube so I can see that chat. I'm going to switch my stream because my Streamlabs won't show me both chats, which is fucking annoying. There is a way to prioritize. Here we go. Primary chat. YouTube. Update. There we go. And maybe today we can try and learn how to raid on YouTube later when it's time to raid. Alright. Thank you, John Lithium, for the retweet. Also, how do I stream to Twitter? Can I do that? I probably have to log into Twitter through Streamlabs. Which, let's not do that right now. Alright. Okay. Folks, I am playing this game. Yeah, and then I could just open Twitch over here. So I'll see that chat if that starts moving at all.
doesn't, and that's what I liked about it. Is it just feels.
Yeah.
That's why the doing the Doomsday movie feels like such a desperate attempt. We're bringing back all the ones you like. We're bringing back all the X-Men that you like. It just feels so desperate in a way that this movie doesn't, and that's what I liked about it. Is it just feels like a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. It feels like it's a solid like superhero movie. That's because it's about like Spider-Man. It's about secret identity, like protecting those people you love. Because there's a lot of talk about him taking his mask off. And a lot of times with the Marvel stuff, it's just about them fighting the bad guy, and this is just a little more introspective.
The humanity gets lost.
Yeah, there's more.
And it
humanity.
has all those. I love those little Sam Raimi moments of him just having little interactions with just like bystanders on the street.
You okay, kid? Yeah, you're okay. See you later.
That's Spider-Man to me. Like that's what I think of in all those Sam Raimi movies. Yeah. And this movie has those little moments. There's a part when he's leaving the office of the Severance guy, and there's the two guys guarding the vaults. Milchek, yeah. But there's those two guys that are guarding the big vault door. And as he's walking by, he's just like, "Hey, you guys are doing a great job," and just like little Spider-Man moments.
Yeah, because he's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Little touches of humanity that kind of elevated it.
Yeah, but he's also, he's pining for his lost love, MJ, who he can't have. So there's some emotional weight there, and it's good. It's good. It's about more than the bad guy.
I didn't know we'd be targeting teenagers.
They're teenagers now, but in the future, they have powers. And
the game is called OTXO. Oxo. Oopsies. I clicked the wrong button. Alright, there we go. Yeah, it's a roguelike, and I'm just trying it out for the first time. I got it for free on Epic.
they will try to destroy me. I will not give up everything I've built and have my life cut short.
Some things just stand out. Like,
Yeah,
It's a pretty good Spider-Man
Have a
movie.
good time.
That's a very good Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
In terms of a movie that's a Spider-Man movie, to me, it was a very good Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, when I was watching
All the other ones were pretty good and fun and watchable.
Well, they're
but
lacking
not
that
memorable.
grounding of, like you're talking about the suits, like it
Yeah.
feels like an Iron Man Jr. suit. That's what stood out to me in rewatching the last one. It's like it's all CG, and you can do all these like amazing tech things, and you can grow extra arms out of the back of the suit.
boring.
Yeah, it's boring when he can do anything. I like when he's just Spider-Man in his little spandex suit.
It rides up in the crotch a little bit, too.
Maybe it's strange that the Punisher is used mostly as comic relief in this, like the way he's presented. I don't know how accurate that is to how he is on his own show.
Video volume was loud compared to you, by the way. Oh, really? Okay. Thank you.
Or whatever, I have no clue.
It's probably not accurate.
Or the game volume. Hang on. I see, okay. Thank you very much, Natch. I appreciate you.
At all.
But the Punisher is like, he's the dark, brooding, violent character, so having him mainly be comic relief is kind of strange, but I didn't mind it in this movie.
I think they know that the Punisher property is maybe not all that valuable in the grand scheme of things.
That's why he's a streaming show, not a movie.
Yeah. I don't know if the streaming show is a success or not.
I mean, there's multiple seasons of it.
Okay, baby.
I don't know anything about it. All I know is that they did like a one-off special for Disney Plus, like where they do that once in a while, where it's not like a full movie, it's like an hour-long just thing.
Yeah.
And they did one for Punisher recently that everyone was just making fun of one effect shot where he falls from a building and it's a very clearly like a CGI face replacement.
And now Jean Grey has her full psychic and telekinesis powers. She's not yet quite tapped into her darkest layer of the Dark Phoenix yet, but she's off to Professor X's School for Gifted Youngsters. And we'll see what happens with that. I don't know.
Just make an X-Men movie. Don't have it tie in with anything else.
That's their plan after Doomsday. It's got to be.
Like some sort of giant reset. They have to.
Because it's like the X-Men, if they establish that Jean Grey is, what, 16, 17 years old, whatever the hell, however old she is in this, and then they have an alternate universe Professor X that's young and not pet.
All right, hold on. Give me a sec. Now I gotta reorganize everything that I just did. There we go. Move this back. This over. There we go. Okay, now.
Patrick Stewart, and then you can kind of just sort of like pass that torch.
We're trying another
because
game.
Chris Evans and like Mark Ruffalo's looking grandpa aged. I like that the Hulk had gray hair.
Yeah.
And then you got like Thor and all these characters that have been around for like 20 years now.
Close to it. Yeah.
And so so they're like, so you can kind of.
I think that's what they were originally trying to do after
Avengers.
Yeah, after Avengers Infinity War. I think that's what they were trying to do, but they introduced all these lame characters that nobody really liked.
I think the Doctor Doom thing will be like a big farewell tour for all these. I mean, I know that's been said before.
Well, that's what Infinity War was supposed to be.
I know, but then they tried to bring about other characters, and no one wanted that. Everyone wanted Thor and Captain America and Iron Man and all the big famous ones. So they're going to bring them back, and then they're going to, instead of a hard, like, cold turkey, no more. Iron Man's dead. Captain America's dead. Thor's fat. Fuck you. Fuck all of you. Here's everyone's favorite, Captain Marvel. You better like it or else. Here's, I don't know.
Shang-Chi.
Here's things you barely know. You better like it or else. And then now, like, okay, we'll do this more gently.
Yeah, maybe.
We're gonna have Captain America come back, or there's rumors that he's playing somebody else.
Like he's evil or something?
Some other superhero, no, not Captain America. Robert Downey Jr. is playing this X-Men. Oh, okay. And this new X-Men movie, maybe Thor will show up for 5 minutes. And so it's like weaning you off the heroin. You know, instead of going cold turkey and like screaming in your heroin cell, like what's his face in Ed Wood.
Oh,
I don't want Captain Marvel.
You ever see Ed Wood? Watch Plan 9 from Outer Space. Do that for me this October. It's supposed to be a horror movie, but it's one of the worst movies ever made. It's like the original The Room.
You titrate the doses of Suboxone until you're off the H, and then you could kind of ease into new characters and new. So they're taking advice from the Betty Ford Clinic here, Jay. They cut everybody off, and everybody started sweating and vomiting and screaming while tied to their hospital bed.
Okay.
And the results were not good. So now they're putting that they're tying everybody off. They're putting it back in slowly, and then
it's a smaller amount.
Then they're going to wean you off it a little gentler, more gentle.
Okay.
And kind of like try to reset slower this time because it blew up in their face.
Yeah, Plan 9 is great if you have a high tolerance. Very much so. Very much so. It's super duper wacky. But also, the cardinal sin of those bad B movies are it's boring. And if it's boring, are they still talking about Spider-Man? Yeah, kind of.
Better reset slower this time because it blew up in their face.
Okay. I also want to watch some Vanguard shit. We are going to get to some of this. Interesting, interesting. But these guys, so, I don't know if anybody watched comic book YouTube, which is a whole nother section of YouTube that you probably didn't highly enjoyed. Good. Me too. I enjoyed it. I had some problems with it. Check out my review. I edited on stream on Sunday. Took like 4 hours to edit. So please watch that one, folks. These two, so comic, one of the bigger comic YouTubers, Comicstorian, his name was Benny, and he brought together some of these other folks, Hassan Kamir, that's his name? Hassan. And Sal from Comic Pop. And a couple other folks to create this like collaborative channel called Absolutely Marvel in DC. He died tragically in a car accident last year or the year before, and slowly now they are bringing back the channel so that, because people have been missing all these folks together talking about comic book movies and stuff like that, and just movies in general. So I'm glad they're back. I'm excited to watch this. Sal is probably one of the most knowledgeable people about comics on the internet. Has gotten some interviews with people like Tom King and Scott Snyder and whatnot. So he is definitely one to watch, and I'm very excited to hear this conversation. Yeah. So they're bringing it back, like in his memory and with his wife's blessing and everything. Because like, what are the? Again, I was watching them like every time a movie would drop. They're one of the first channels I would go to, and I still do for Sal. But yeah, Hassan Kadir, there it is in the title. And Hassan Kadir is great. He's done some collaborative streams. He's like a big fucking deal. I didn't know who he was, but Benny realized, holy shit, this guy has like millions of followers on TikTok. And I think, 3 million on YouTube. And most of his shit is this.
It's me, Mickey, and we got some big announcements, guys. It's official. In 24 hours, I go public domain.
Hey, guys. How's it going? My name's Hassan. I'm the voice of Mickey. I've had the honor of being the voice of Mickey, and this video is going to do a couple things. Thing number one.
Yeah, I've only ever heard him talk about this. I've never actually watched it. I guess he just like... He's like in Triumph the Insult Comic Dog, but with Mickey Mouse. And then, makes his own movie reviews or whatever, talking about stuff. So, yeah. I would love to try and get him on the space. he has done like some fundraising for Palestine, in collaboration with like other big YouTubers and stuff. So I feel like he might be down for some political, an outlet for him to get his political takes out, and I would love this space to be that place. So I'm going to try and reach out to him at some point. I think I have tried already, but you know, we'll see. But yeah, man. The game music? Okay, good. Is it, can you hear it? You can hear it. I'm glad. I'll turn on the sound effects though, because I'm sure that'll be loud.
Well, did you watch the new Spider-Man movie?
I sure did. Should we talk about it?
Absolutely. Welcome back to Absolutely. We're gonna talk about Spider-Man Brand New Day. Biggest box office opening of all time. I think it maybe is number 2, but in my brain it's number 1. It had the biggest opening day of all time and the biggest preview day of all time. I think it fell just short.
By the way, this music right here is what I'm using a lot for like backing music for my videos. It's very chill, it's subtle, keeps you engaged though.
Short of biggest opening weekend. Feels weird that they're tallying that numbers and today is Sunday. Like, feels like we could get another day.
I know there's gonna be more. There's gonna be more time, and it's number 1 in my heart, Hassan, because it does my heart good to know that like one of the highest-grossing movies of all time, or at least the opening weekend, is a Spider-Man movie, and especially a Spider-Man movie that is doing what this movie is doing.
This is, I'm gonna say it here right at the top. This is my favorite Spider-Man movie ever. This is. I saw it twice. I've seen it twice now, so I said this as soon as I watched the first time, but I'm gonna say it now that I've had time to calm down and confirm it. This is my favorite MCU movie by a lot. By a lot. This is the top of every one of my Letterboxd lists as of right now.
At N1. So yeah, anyways, about monetization, I guess I signed up for AdSense. I guess I got to talk to like Pep or Gina or something about this, but I think I don't know. You guys let me know. Are you seeing ads? Am I getting ad breaks on YouTube on the stream? Let me know. Cuz I think I should be.
This is what I wanted Homecoming to be. Like, I wanted it to feel like an authentic Spider-Man movie, but just living in the MCU, just being part of this ongoing, sprawling saga that I invested over 10 years in. Like, I just wanted to feel what it's like to be like boots on the ground, POV Spider-Man, looking at the MCU and interacting with it, and maybe not being treated like
so again, they might send me like a fucking something in the mail, I think, so I can like put it in to the account so that they know I'm a real person. I believe you can't tell you have premium. Well, fancy you.
Or statesman of it, you know, like showing up and having even a newcomer like, well, you know what, we'll get into the spoilers in just a minute, but before we do, this movie rules. New director is crushing it, and
Destin, the king of all kings in this world. He is. Wonder Man was awesome. Shang-Chi was awesome. We knew that.
Yeah.
He kicked it up to a gear that I cannot even understand in this movie.
Yeah.
He did visual things that have never been done in any Spider-Man movies. I think a lot of times people say, well, the Raimi movies are so cinematic, and they're bathed in this like, kind of yellowish sunny glow that is unique to those movies. But cinematography-wise,
I love the Raimi cinematography.
I love
but
the
it is
Raimi.
very Raimi. Like those are Spider-Man Raimi movies are Raimi movies and Spider-Man movies. And I will say, you know, you said this is your favorite Spider-Man movie. I will probably see this movie one more time in theaters, but I think I saw Spider-Man 2 the most out of all of them. That was the one where I was like, you figured it out! Like, you know, tears and all that. But but it's still like there's something enduring and almost perfect about pretty much every Spider-Man movie, I think. Like, where they really get it right. Even Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is not good, despite what apologists say. Just like the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies are not great movies. We hated them back then. They didn't deserve to be lauded now. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they weren't that bad. those Fantastic Four movies. They were okay. They were okay.
No,
but they shouldn't be like heralded. I agree.
That was a hell of a drug.
The pace of this movie, boom, 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 boom. We just move. We move through all of the plot without feeling fat. I'm not feeling rushed. I feel like I am with Peter in that seat. I think that I don't know what else we can say in non-spoiler territory other than this is an awesome movie.
Yeah, it is an awesome movie. I can't say that I don't have notes, but I also appreciate everything they did get right. I think certainly post Raimi, well, post 2, like post Spider-Man 2, this is the Spider-Man movie I have the fewest complaints about. I know that it sounds like I am going to start nitpicking this movie that everyone loves, that everyone was waiting to see, and I'm not going to do that. I'm just saying that
I'm excited.
There were moments where I'm like, I loved this movie, and then there were other moments where I'm like, I don't. It feels like, and this is my weird take, is that it feels like it's missing something, and I don't know what that is, and I can't define what it is, but I felt at the end of it, I'm like, this is a satisfying experience, and everything was fantastic, and the costume was amazing. There was one complaint that I uttered to my wife after the movie was over, and her response was pitch perfect for why I'm an idiot and why she is the best person on the planet. And it's a spoiler, but I don't know. Should we get into spoiler territory at the very least? Casually, I'm not just gonna name them all, but like, I was like, I can't believe Daredevil wasn't in this movie.
Yeah.
And my wife Tiffany just goes, "You had a whole movie with Punisher in it."
I know. I get it. I said the same thing to myself. But like, that's what I said in my review. I said a line here or there would have gone a long way. You know, if Punisher had said, "You remind me of someone, another guy in a red suit that won't take no, that is stubborn and hard-headed and whatever, an optimist," some shit like that. But he's not as nice as you or something, we would have gotten it. And it would have tied those two things together and been a step closer to seeing Spider-Man and Daredevil together. Which, like, again, seeing Spider-Man and Punisher is crazy. It's pretty fucking amazing that we're getting that. But yeah, I too was like, where's even a mention of Daredevil? You know, another guy in New York with a red suit who doesn't agree with your methods. You gotta mention it. I wanted, you know, look, I can't really remember what happened at the end of this second season of Daredevil. I think they got rid of Wilson Fisk as mayor, but it would have been so cool for Spidey to like have interacted with Wilson Fisk at all. Kingpin's a big Spider-Man villain. Kingpin's not just like a one-person villain. He's a villain for like anybody. He's already established as a lawyer. Exactly! He met him already. Or like, you know, him, Punisher is like, you know, this lawyer that I know in a red suit, and he's like, I met a lawyer who was really, I don't know. Yeah, when he catches the brick. But he wouldn't know that he's Daredevil, but Punisher would know. Or like, you know, Spidey can mention, I had a lawyer who caught a brick that was thrown through a window, and he's like, oh, was his name Murdoch? That's Daredevil. I don't know. I get it.
And I'm like, fair enough. Like, you could have held a Punisher-esque gun to my head. I would never have guessed in a million years that Punisher would appear in a Spider-Man movie outside of being a main character in one.
Yeah.
Whenever they interviewed Kevin Feige and he has the gun to his head that is the fucking ghoul Amy Pascal sitting next to him, you're like,
oh,
Kevin, what are you going to say next? She's so creepy and weird. And Josh Horowitz was like, we're not seeing Daredevil in this movie. Tell me, how come? You already got Daredevil in a movie. Well, we
got a dude in a suit.
We got Charlie Cox as...
Yeah, we got Charlie Cox, who's amazing, and that was a real
Murdoch is awesome, but he's not Daredevil unless he's Daredevil.
No.
Yeah, Amy Pascal is like the head of Sony.
Where collarbones crack. Where hips break. Where ace...
It's very much a like, we have to play nice with her because she owns Spider-Man. I wouldn't be surprised if they left Dee Dee out to stir up controversy, maybe. I mean, they have the Hand in here. That's why also I was like, the Hand we have seen only in Daredevil. And it was like through Defenders, I think that was the last of them. But like, oh, they got taken over by Damage Control after Elektra died again. And the whole Dragon Defenders thing happened. Oh, that's cool. That's a good way to explain what happened to them. I'm waiting for Daredevil to show up in She-Hulk. I know he does. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're watching She-Hulk. Yeah. He does. And it's great. It's great. I wish more of that, like, would play together. I think Sal was actually the guy I heard this idea from. Maybe. But, like, the next phase of Marvel, and I think they tried to do it almost a little bit, but everything got kind of lopsided. But they should do a, like, you know, Avengers scale stuff, space stuff, simultaneously with street level stuff. And then eventually they'll meet. You know what I mean? Like, I want, and it looks like the Daredevil series, and I said it in my Daredevil review, is going to be where the Defenders live. Like, I don't think we're going to get more, because they're pulling back on Disney Plus shows as it is. I don't think we're going to get Jessica Jones or Luke Cage or Iron Fist as their own show anymore. I don't even think we're going to get a Defenders show. I think it's just going to be Daredevil is going to be the Defenders show. And I would love for Spider-Man to show up on that, or vice versa. Because now, if I'm Kevin Feige, especially, I go, put Spider-Man on the show, because then we can kind of signal to people, hey, this is almost a soft reboot of, like, Disney Plus Marvel. We're sorry we tried to make everything essential viewing. We know you didn't watch Agatha All Along and Wonder Man and, you know, all these other things. They're going to try and be a little more strategic going forward. So that's could be a good business move. However, that's also a separate deal that Amy Pascal would have to make, or they would have to make with her and Sony, and be like, can we borrow him for a TV show now instead of a movie? But yeah, like having the Hand there, no mention at all. Frank was there shooting ninjas in season 2 of Daredevil. Oh man, I ran into these guys before.
It's one of
Yeah, Charlie Cox was amazing, and that was a real
Murdoch is awesome, but he's not Daredevil unless he's Daredevil. It's one of those things that, like, this movie fed our comic book loving souls to the point where we have decided to ask for more for the first time in a long time.
Yes.
Where otherwise we've been like, well, I'm just glad they did this.
That's the thing. That was the perspective that I was
Daredevil's
trying
advocate
to, like, make sure I maintained throughout the movie, because I was just like, I can't believe this is happening, or I can't believe we're getting this, but it wasn't like a this is the first time it's ever happening moment like that. Those days are over. The days of, oh my god, I can't believe they're actually going there. It's more just, I am satisfied that they went there. And I'm really thankful that they did that.
You're telling me you weren't.
It's a, and they've mentioned it before, and it's a good thing to remember. You know, there was a time where just Batman saying Metropolis in a Batman movie, saying the word like, oh, this doesn't happen over in Metropolis or whatever, that's a holy shit, we got a hint that this is a bigger universe. And so we've been spoiled now with, like, getting everyone in costume and stuff. So I said in my review too, like, we're just it's Scorpion, here's his costume, he's being called Scorpion. But I'm like, yeah, we could get a little bit of how did he get that costume? Where did he come up with the name? This and that. Instead of just, here they are. They're already here. Here's Boomerang. Here's Tombstone. Like, let me get a little bit of who they are.
Freaking out that Spider-Man was climbing on the Hulk's back like a spider? That's like straight out of a comic book?
That was delightful.
dude, that was delightful. The like becoming the real Hulk again. Like I've never been one of those people that really hated Smart Hulk. I was fine with it. I didn't really love it either.
It worked for the story. Like we needed it for that, not necessarily for She-Hulk, but we got it, you know, and it's. But
fun. Then the moment where he goes, "Oh my God, I did not know you got that big." Oh, that's such a good line. And
that's a great line.
Punisher, when he's infected by Jean Grey, and he's like, "Good luck, Spider-Man." I was like, "That's John Bernthal, so good."
He's great.
Yeah, that was great.
My favorite John Bernthal moment is reacting to the Hulk. It's just going, "Oh shit!
Oh shit!"
That is such a great moment because it's like, you know, Frank is such swagger throughout his entire like MCU or MCU adjacent history. And then to have him actually just be plunked in the deep end of the MCU being like, okay, Punisher versus Hulk. He's like, oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
God, what did he say? He was like making an excuse for some of his. You just don't want to fight the Hulk, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Tired of you, Frank. I'm handling this my way. None of that soft serve bullshit. Frank, don't kill her. Stay 33 feet away. Like the way he was like lecturing and snapping at him and like clapping at him and explaining stuff to him. This is the reason I love this Spider-Man movie so much, and I think it's better than all the rest, is that this is the first time the MCU, across all of the movies and all the shows, has felt like a real place. Like, even in Avengers movies where all the characters make sense to be in, I feel like there's an amount of like, this person's on screen, yay! And in this one, I'm not saying you weren't cheering, I'm not saying you weren't, but the movie did not pause for you to clap.
It was not No Way Home. No Way Home has actual, honest-to-God sitcom applause breaks. And
it totally did, and there was a reason for that, and I get that. But this movie just felt like its own thing. When you saw Yelena, you weren't like, Black Widow, oh my God! You were like, okay, this is Yelena, Spider-Man's clearly friend or something, and they have a work relationship. Like you laughed at the fact that Peter wore his mask and then
I
was
just picked
jacked
the
in his
wrong
underwear.
characters.
God damn, did they get their mileage out of a shirtless Tom Holland for this one too?
They sure do. They're like, oh, this kid worked out. Let's make sure we get
fantastic.
a lot of
Let's do that. Everyone looks really great in this movie. I mean, Zendaya is the most beautiful person maybe ever, but they've never styled her well for a Spider-Man movie. They've always like her in her natural day-to-day looks more like Mary Jane than her in any of those movies until this one, where she's got this dewy, beautiful glow to her skin and her hair looks good and she's dressed really cool. And I like the narrative reason, like she has an awkward high school phase and she's got her college glow and now her post-college energy. It's really good. But yeah, the whole movie, I felt the 5 years. I felt like he'd been Spider-Man for 5 years. I loved DeWolf. His relationship with DeWolf is awesome. You're hard pressed to get me to give a shit about a cop character anymore.
That was tough. It's funny because I was like, oh, are we doing the Yuri thing? Because that like dovetails right from him doing a whole bunch of Insomniac Spider-Man moves. Yeah. Where you're like, okay, I understand Sony, but like, geez, man, like dial back the video game synergy. But then he talks to DeWolf, and at first you're like, oh my God, we're really just synergy video gaming as much as we can. And then it's like, oh no, it's DeWolf. And I'm like, that's a cool pull. I don't think you're ever going to do anything with that, but I do appreciate that you did use that character.
You're going to use that the same way you use Ned Leeds as the Hobgoblin.
100%.
Can we get a goblin in one of these movies, please?
I wish I remembered her name off the top of my head. She's in The Bear, and I loved her in The Bear.
Yeah, Liza Zayas.
Yes. She's so good. And in this, there is like, she's got this maternal care to her, and it's beautiful. They pair her with her kids in the scene, like the way that narratively works. And Peter's conversation with her, I really like when he goes full man spider and attacks Scorpion, and then he clears up and he goes, DeWolf, is she okay, DeWolf? Tell me. And he's so New York. He's so like pointing and he's walking, and she's like, calm down, you need to go home. I can't defend you. You almost killed a cop. And then I was like, you killed a cop, whatever. But I was also like, when that happened, I freaked out where I was like, Peter, what are you doing? Like I had moments of freaking out for him.
Yeah, well, you're worried about your protagonist. Like that's something that the movie does incredibly well, is actually be a movie where the stakes are not necessarily like the end of the world, so you can't get grounded. The stakes are you're following.
Well, the Venom thing comes from Jean DeWolf is a cop, and in this movie Spider-Man has like that's the one cop that he talks to. And in the comics, eventually, it's similar. Like, that's his cop friend. That's his Jim Gordon, effectively. And in the comics, she gets murdered by the Sin Eater, who is a serial killer. And then in that story, Eddie Brock is created as a rival reporter to Peter Parker, who's like, he starts talking to his neighbor who's crazy and says they're the Sin Eater, so he starts printing that in the newspaper, like rants from the Sin Eater, like, I'm actually getting inside info with the serial killer and I won't reveal my sources and this and that, and he's getting a name for himself. And then Spider-Man actually catches the real Sin Eater, and turns out that Eddie's neighbor was just a lunatic who thought he was the serial killer. So he's discredited and he loses his job, and that's why Eddie goes to the church and prays that God kills Spider-Man. And that happens to be when Spider-Man is trying to get the symbiote off of him, and it falls onto Eddie and becomes Venom. Tom Hardy's probably not coming back. I doubt it, because even if Amy Pascal wanted to do that, which I'm sure she does, how do you get Tom Hardy back? Maybe you can. I don't know. I would hope they just do a new story in their own universe. I would much rather that. Yeah, no worries. So yes, that's why when I saw Jean DeWolf, I was like, ooh, we could be setting up for more movies down the line of like her death, and then Eddie Brock and Venom and the symbiote. And I mean, Spider-Man in the comics gets the black suit during Secret War, the Secret War. They are adapting a different Secret Wars, because there's been multiple now. They're adapting a different comic, but they could also have that happen where Peter gets a black suit from a random alien test tube thing, and then later in his own movies he realizes it's alive and I gotta get this off of me and this and that. Like, it could work. That would be amazing. Me and Sal would explode all over the internet.
The protagonist, you're worried about the protagonist, and you don't want them to fail or die or be perceived as negative because you're inserting yourself into the protagonist's shoes. Like, when he screws up, you feel like you're screwing up. That's like really good filmmaking, and I was very happy to see that was like something that they took, to heart when they made this. When they were
it was like the pacing of it was so phenomenal, and the way that it was like, I felt like I just read a Spider-Man story that happened to be a really important weekend for him, like the MJ stuff, the Ned stuff.
Throw money at him.
It's important, but it didn't feel like this multiversal. The world is ending. I gotta stop Mysterio. I gotta stop these guns from getting into New York. Like, something.
Those are cool. I really like those, but like,
I love those movies. But there's something there that feels okay. We're here to watch the movie, and it feels like so many of these moments, like they have 5 years of stories that probably would have felt just like this. We happened to get the MJ stuff and the Ned stuff, but looks like this, because he's on the phone with the Wolf. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna go stop this tank, and the tank has Jean Grey in it, and he bumps into Punisher along the way, and it just feels so. It's so tangible. I don't know how to describe it. Like, this feels like in a movie of AI written slop, or in an era of AI written slop, where most of what we are seeing is just like, oh, here's the idea, AI, generate me a scene from How I Met Your Mother, but it's these, like, it feels like that.
Yeah, it's very, it's certainly very by the numbers. This is just very procedural in terms of like every scene blends into the next scene. Any moments that kind of like feel jarring are clearly like either reshoots or additions. Like, I will, if I can give the movie a ding, I love the Elena scenes. Like, I love the bathhouse sequence. I think it's actually a really fun scene, and it's really like it's a great grounding MCU moment, because also Yelena is about to meet the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, today I'm just kind of like, I decided to stream because I like hanging out with y'all, and this is gonna be, you're doing what I would be doing. You're seeing what I would be doing if I wasn't streaming. I'm watching Spider-Man reviews and playing games. That's what I'm doing today.
Basically, in this situation, like the Doomsday is coming, and there's no indication of that whatsoever in this movie until the post-credit scene. But like this is just a scene where it's like here's where like the Marvel superheroes are, and here's where Spider-Man is. And it's a great bathhouse scene. I love that sequence. It's really funny, and what's interesting is how they don't play any sexuality to it whatsoever. I was like there's no like flirtatious moments. There's no like awkward boner. It's just two characters in a bathhouse, and I'm like, okay. But also a lot of like negative space. Like it felt like either she's in water and he's in water and the rest of it's all CG, or whatever. But it just felt like, we need another. Maybe there's a scene where like Pete uses Google to find the information he needs, and they're like, we're making Spider-Man. We could make we could zhuzh this up a little bit more. And so what they did was they went like, oh hey, Florence Pugh, you want to be in Spider-Man for a minute? Just like shot an extra scene. I don't know that to be true.
All shot in the same day. Like it's
that's the thing. It's all in the same day. But even then, they made it work. Like Pete wearing the mask, and that's another thing that I want to give this movie its flowers for. Spider-Man wears his mask and his costume more in this movie than probably all the movies combined.
That's very true. Spider-Man does wear the mask more than any other movie, and I love it. It's great.
Have to imagine the runtime of him in the suit in this movie has to be really close to the combined runtime of him in suits.
100%
across all the 9 Spider-Man movies, like
exactly.
I really believe that.
Yeah, definitely. Like even in the movies where he's only a cameo in them, he pops that mask off every time. The suit is it's the best suit on screen.
I wanted the fat spider on the back though.
Don't change it. I can't believe they didn't change it. I can't believe they didn't like have him have another suit. Like, the whole expectation of him switching suits in the last like 3 Spider-Man movies is because, toys and stuff.
Tough headaches got you down. New Excedrin Rapid Relief starts to work in 15 minutes, getting you back on your feet right when you need it.
No, where's the suit the whole damn time?
The entire time in that suit. There's a video on this channel, and if someone's real eagle-eyed, they can go through and find it, where I say the perfect Spider-Man costume is if you take Andrew Garfield's suit, saturate the colors, and give him Tom Holland's mechanical eyes. Mm-hmm. And this suit, where like Tom has been doing interviews where he's like, yeah, my favorite suit is the Andrew Garfield suit. I got to try on all 3 Spider-Man's costumes. And cool. That one really worked for me. And we went through and we pulled from this, we pulled from Toby's. We really got the best of all of them to build this. But it's really heavily inspired by TASM 2. And I was like, yeah, dude. No. Yeah, it totally is. Can you tell I've been watching a metric fuck ton of Tom Holland interviews to do that?
It's true. You're really refining your Holland. It's good. It's good. It's good.
Thank you. I'm working.
By the way, I should point out, as of the recording of this episode, the movie has made $927 million.
$927 million.
But it is still the second biggest opening of all time. But $927 million opening weekend.
Frankly, it's because there's not enough theaters. I mean, dude, there were 40 showings on Friday night, or no, because today
it was really good. Go see Spider-Man.
On Friday night in Birmingham, Alabama. I saw it at the beach in preview night in Destin, Florida, at a Dolby Theater, which I was so lucky to see it in kind of one of the larger format screens you could get, because Odyssey's taken all the large format screens away from Spider-Man, which I didn't have an issue with because I really loved Odyssey until I saw an interview with Destin where he said he shot it for IMAX, and then I've just been heartbroken. We have a whole video about that'll come out on the channel at some point where I talk more in depth about that. But I saw it on a Dolby screen, which is awesome. I came home, I wanted to watch it with my roommate, and midday there was there were some seats left. Out of the 45 showings in Birmingham, Alabama on a Friday night, 3 of them were not totally sold out, and it was 2 seats in the
We're gonna
front
do
row
the
that were
nuke.
left. That you'd be staring at the screen like this. That's how popular it was. To park in my local theater, which usually I park
Hopefully
right
we
next to the
get there
door
before
because there's
dying.
hardly anybody ever there. It's a defunct shopping complex called Patton Creek. I had to park and walk for about 10 minutes to get into the movie theater because there was so little parking available, and every single person was there to see Spider-Man.
Dude,
There's
there were tons of people in Spider-Man shirts. Saw people in Spider-Man like pajama pants. You know, I did not know he was one of them. As a comic book fan, there's certain times where like I could see somebody wearing something, and I'm like, you're a comic book fan. And then there's a lot of times where that's just they like the design, right? People wearing Batman stuff, Superman, Spider-Man, X-Men even. A lot of times it's just someone likes the design or they like the movie or whatever, and that's their shirt. If someone's wearing, like I do, my Green Lantern hat, people start talking to me about comics because they're like, there's no way you got a fitted Green Lantern hat and you're not reading comics. Picker, I feel like I'm going insane. I cannot find my can of spray acrylic I was literally using 4 days ago. Oh, I hate when that happens. You knew exactly where you put it, and you're looking all around. It's going to be in the place you least expect. Oh, good luck to you. Good luck to you. I know that feeling. I hate it.
Nothing like it, man. There's no feeling like that in the world. I think that's like, it's such a. I'm gonna go see it again while it's still in theaters, maybe in Atlanta, Georgia, or somewhere else. Like, I want to continue to experience these movies and experience the people. Now, theater etiquette is abysmal, and I'm coming to understand that preview night's a really safe spot to only watch with super fans, and then after that, you have to contend with people who scroll.
Oh my God.
On Twitter during the movie. That ordered Chick-fil-A from the Chick-fil-A app during the movie.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Dude, I got like fear.
Gotta be the most popular superhero right now. Spider-Man, yeah. Someone said, I seen drama starting on Twitter because someone was like, what is it? I'll find it. Comic book fans found out about Like That. Where is it? Oh, I can't find it. But people have been making memes of like, fuck the big three, it's just Big Me. Like Kendrick said on Like That. And it's like, no, the big three are the big three. And it is. It's Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. Batman being number one, Spider-Man number two, Superman number three. In terms of sales, historically, that's what it's been. So Spider-Man, like, I get it, but no. Batman is coming out, and Batman's going to do numbers.
Furious. I got really, really angry. Yeah. And people who steal seats when we have assigned seatings, and they're like, they make it seem like an inconvenience to you when you're like, I paid for
this is my seat, and they're
buddy.
like, ugh.
Get out of here.
I've been there.
That's how I'm an old
I gotta
man,
tell you,
dude.
in my theater, we saw it on Thursday, and there were
have someone else look for it.
interruptions. Everyone in the movie. Let me tell you, and I'll talk about this on my other channel, but like, my wife and I were framed by two people who were, as the kids say, locked in. Like they were literally on the edge of their seats during sequences that were not spectacular action. It wasn't like this hand fight between Spider-Man and the Hand is unbelievable. It was, and it looks amazing. And I'm like, but
I'm gonna try that
they were
again.
locked in on moments like Mary Jane.
Want to know what makes tails wag? Blue Nudge's steak grillers with real beef. Or tender, mouth-watering chicken.
I'm sorry, MJ. It's not. It's
No, I
Michelle
mean, you
Jones.
could give her the Mary Jane moniker.
I know, but
She's earned
MJ,
it, you know.
But when MJ is revealed to have been mind controlled by Jean instead of actually having remembered who he was, like they were like, I heard somebody go, no.
yeah, dude. Because because I knew how tight they were with this movie, I had this gut feeling the second that scene started that she was possessed. I was like, there's no way they're gonna give this kind of weird win in the middle of the movie. Like, there's no way they get that. They're not gonna undo the spell. That's big stakes. And I think if John Watts was the director, no disrespect to John, this is a thing that he would be okay with. But based on what I knew about the creative team, I knew that immediately that it wasn't true. And the Hear My Theater, which the opening night screening was great. It was no interruptions. It was fantastic. It was like we all got like the Spider-Man socks when we came in. They were giving it to us. It was awesome. But there was like people being like, oh, "Yay!" They're like happy, and they go, "No!" Oh! And they were like super upset. And I got to live in that, like knowing it was happening. So I got to just like watch it, and it was fucking awesome. It was so awesome. God, I really like. I'm glad that you have a healthy skepticism as it comes to this and thinks that there are things to be improved on this. And for me, I just didn't feel like that.
No, that's
like,
fair. I should
just
say,
loved it.
Yeah, no, I loved it, and I had a great time seeing it, and I'm just gonna see it again. And I again, like, here's the things I loved about the movie. The costume's amazing. Tom Holland's accent is only getting better. Like, he's actually doing like kind of like a New York thing. He doesn't sound like Marty McFly so much anymore.
Yeah,
that's really cool. His like the lighting and the color balance.
Or what I do is just stop looking for it, do something else. Yeah, it's tough. Because in the back of your head, you're like, I gotta find that thing though. Especially if you're like actively doing that activity. I totally get it. Do it right. I got it back. I got it back up just in case. Okay. All right.
It's like, I don't know. That sounds like someone being like, "Boy, you're really reaching to come up with good things you liked about the movie." No, I liked that. It looked like a movie. There was a moment in the beginning where I went like, "Oh my god, this actually looks like New York. I can't believe they actually shot in New York." Turns out, didn't shoot in New York at all.
Glasgow. They shot it in London. And it
like,
looks
what? But it looks great, and you know what that does? That's lighting, baby. That's set design.
That's lighting. That's set design. That is everything. Because Thunderbolts. We were in the car afterwards talking about Thunderbolts or the New Avengers or whatever you want to call it.
I like Thunderbolts, by the way.
I loved it. I thought it was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. I had bad expectations because for some reason I'm an idiot and thought I was going into a Bucky Barnes movie, and then it's a Yelena Belova movie. So I had to temper. So my first showing, I liked it okay, but I needed to go back. And then when I went in knowing how it was, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was great. That doesn't feel like New York City. Like, that doesn't feel anything like New York. My roommate Isaiah saw it last night, and he was like, we were talking about it. He goes, I didn't even realize that it was New York until like the very, very end when they were in the Avengers Tower. Even though they said New York, it was like something about it didn't feel like New York.
Right.
This movie, I mean, I go to New York a lot. You live near New York.
Yeah.
This is New York City. Frankly, if they sub out all the parts where they're talking about crime rates going down and being Spider-Man and they say Zoran Mamdani, it might as well be a real newsreel from New York City. That's how the news is reporting right now.
Yeah. No, it looked great. I love the montage and all the villains and stuff. I like that we stuck with one villain for the most part. I like that the villain plot was such that they introduce you to the big bad of the movie, who is, spoilers, it's Jean Grey. Jean Grey is the villain of the movie for the 2/3 of the movie. She's the antagonist. Then we get new information, switch gears, and make Damage Control the villain of the movie, and that might be I like that a lot, and I think that's actually like smart and good filmmaking, or at least good storytelling. But I think that's where I was like, now you're doing, it's not quite an X-Men movie, but you are introducing, and that could be like, if Feige is a genius, which I don't know. I mean,
I don't know anymore, man.
He's a good manager, but I don't know if he's a great genius. But if he's a genius, he's using Spider-Man as a way of introducing this new theme to the MCU, which is governmental oversight and like a deep distrust, and like this concept of like, the authoritarian being Damage Control, using technology to control or at least mitigate powered people. I'm like, oh, we're doing something that is introducing core concepts of what X-Men is, and it's something inescapable. I don't know if I wanted to do that in a Spider-Man movie, but also
that was some of my gripes and questions. It was like, this feels like a Spider-Man movie underneath setup for the X-Men. You know, but it could work. And I know Sal knows about Ultimate Spider-Man. I wonder if he's going to bring that up, because that was kind of like, that happened there too.
Made it it worked because they made it a distinctly Spider-Man movie by how they disarm the former antagonist, now kind of like, I don't know if you want to call her like a victim, but certainly she's like she's a casualty.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God. I mean, that, like, I've been really into X-Men 97 recently, so I've been for the first time in years like picking up X-Men books, and I was like baffled that they were doing this storyline, but then simultaneously I was like, this is being done perfectly. Like that line where Bruce Banner is like, how would you choose? What?
You're playing Alex and playing chess while you listen? Hell yeah. Multitask, baby.
How would you choose which mutation, which expressions need to be suppressed and which ones just need to be expressed? And it's like, that's genius. And
So
by the
smart.
end of it, the self-acceptance moment where like, I'm Peter Parker and I'm Spider-Man, and then the mutation stops being horrible, and it's not Man Spider, it's
but
it's whatever, you know. And I don't love organic webbing. I loved organic webbing in this movie.
My brain hack for ADHD is that I'm always doing 3 things at the same time, but I do one step of each at a time. Yeah, me too. Me too. So no one thing's exactly. I'll often, while editing, you know, you watch me edit the other day, like having the chat on and being streaming helps me focus on editing. And I can also get super zoomed in and stuck on one thing, which I kind of like sometimes, because I'm not looking at Twitter all the time. Like Crimson Desert or like Zelda, I'll get super sucked into one of those games and I won't look at Twitter for a while. But I'll also do the thing where, like, okay, I'll beat a thing and then I'll like smoke a little bit of a joint, or like play another game, or look at Twitter, and then I'll come back to it.
No, like I was like, I don't like this, but I love it.
I accepted it. It's funny. I hate organic webbing and I don't want it. And I was like really disappointed to hear that it was going to be in this movie. And I don't love it.
Did the stream stop? Did I freeze? Are we good? I don't know. I'm seeing on Twitch. It looks like I might have disconnected.
I don't want it, but also it works as a element of the movie. Like for me, I'm like, I appreciated it, and I'm like, you're rooting for it to work because that is that's one of the elements of the movie that allows for Peter to grow and evolve. And I'm like, oh, that's really smart. That said, did you get reshoots, alternate ending vibes from this movie?
Oh yeah.
Because I think that the ending was I think that from him in the hospital to the end is a reshoot. I don't know about that, but it feels like...
I feel as though he died in this movie. They brought in one of the writers from Challengers to rewrite some of it, and it really, really, really worked. The Challengers writer, he said that there was a scene that him and Zendaya were filming, and during that scene, they felt like something wasn't working, and because they have that trust, it was like, hey, I don't think this is working. They told the director, and then he closed down set for the day, brought a writer in, brought the writer from Challengers in, and they rewrote multiple parts of this movie, and you can feel it.
I definitely felt like they were going to kill Spider-Man in this movie. I definitely felt like that was going to happen. Which is weird, because, like, why would they do that? But yeah, and they also could have had scenes like, oh, she does go to Xavier's school, and we get to see like at least the front gate, and then maybe I thought we might see fucking Professor X in this movie. I remember when the trailer first dropped and people were like, "Oh my God, Keith David, voiceover." Turns out that voiceover is for like a video that Spider-Man is watching in the movie. I thought it was, and people were like, "Oh, maybe he's Professor X or someone big, Morlun."
Feel the chemistry dialogue between, like, the heartbreaking, gut-wrenching moment that is "I don't love you" is done so well. And then
come back and move forward with Purdue Global at purdueglobal.edu.
For 125 years, the people of Firestone have been building products and services with one thing in
immediately into the, like, do you want to come upstairs and meet Ned, is done so well, where they're doing references and playing with Legos together. You really do look like best friends. Like, it was perfect. It was so perfect. I think
should we? Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask. I was gonna segue. So let's finish out that thought at least.
No, you're good. I was just gonna get. I was gonna get into the grief conversation, but we can do that next.
Oh,
we can
grief
round that out.
amazing. Yeah.
I think it's my favorite one.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say, what did you think of Sadie Sink as Jean Grey and this whole like?
She's great. I mean, she's a redhead, so I'm like, okay, we're just casting any redhead now. And did she do Max from Stranger? Like, was Max being 11 a little bit? Like Max from Stranger Things, VMAX on the screen. Yeah. She's got the telekinesis. She's jumping into people's minds and memories, very similar to 11. So I thought that was kind of hilarious.
Yeah,
she's good. And you know what's funny to me? That I'm like, I think she wanted to make out with Peter Parker because he's hot. I think plain and simple, she wanted to do a little making out with Peter, and she did exactly that. They make her really kind of wicked for the early part, and even though they reveal her motivation, I'm still not. I'm like, I can't handle some of the shit that you were doing, dude.
You killed that dude. I don't know if he was like. I heard rumors that he was like a bad guy or something like that, but like that dude got hit by a car. I don't know what. Like, there's no other way to slice that. Like,
killed a lot.
By the way, I got a new pin on my hat. You'll see that. I got 2 new pins actually. Here. This is Ice Out, New York City. Them getting sprayed with a water hose, and this is my DSA pin. Very cool. Very happy.
The people in this movie. Yeah. There's also some like Spider-Man. I think there's going to be some people being like, in the same way that in the Andrew Garfield movies, it's like anytime you have a car going through a street, like hitting a bunch of other cars, you have people dying or getting maimed or injured, and you need to suspend disbelief. There's one where like Peter saves a kid after a cop car is like blown up and thrown away, and it's like, yeah, well that cop died. And it's like played out, and Peter's like, you good, kid? Yeah, you're good. And he swings away, and it's like, well, the other guy's not good, Pete. He died.
Yeah, that guy is dead.
Yeah. We'll I think that we can do another Spider-Man Brand New Day thing in like a week or two once we've had time to settle in and talk more about it. Because I could talk about this movie for literally 3 hours, but we really want you guys to hear this conversation. So we're trying to get this out soon.
Yes, exactly.
The last thing I really, really, really want to talk about that I was like, I'll do this one. I did a short about it on the channel.
Yeah.
This movie just gets grief right. Yeah. Like the way that he has spent 5 years all alone. Really, you feel that. And ever since Benny passed away. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say just like the ritual of going to the grave and giving the flowers to May, and like that's just he doesn't like conquer grief. He's made it like a friend. He's like living with it his entire he's incorporated into his life. It's like second nature. It's like, today I have to like make sure I like take a shower, go to get lunch and go to Aunt May's grave and give flowers for that. Like it's just constant. Like
we'll get better.
And that living in the grief is, I think, really well expressed.
There was a chess roguelike actually that I saw Northern Lion play. I don't know if you know Northern Lion, but there's a chess roguelike. What's it called? Passant, I think. I don't know if there's a demo or anything. Let's see. No. It's $12, but here. Wait, is this the one I was thinking of? I don't know. Hang on. Chess Rogue Gambonzanza. Is it? Used to play chess on Yahoo Games. I remember that. I remember that too. Yeah, it's like Balatro, but with chess. I don't know if you ever played Balatro, but shout out that game. That game's fucking addicting as fuck. I hear if you ever watch FD signifiers like streams or stream videos that are cut up from his streams on YouTube, the background music is Balatro. MS-DOS animated chess, yeah. So yeah, that's what you made me think of talking about chess.
And I think it speaks to what you're talking about because it's like, yeah,
that intentional isolation, and then when you're doing things well enough, and you're like, I'm doing great, yeah. There's been times since Benny died where I'm like, I'm doing much better. I got videos coming out. I'm trying. You guys saw it. I uploaded like 5 Spider-Man trailer videos, and then I went dark for 4 more months because I just wasn't ready. And it's been like, it's that battle, and to like watch him go through that the same way. And when Benny passed away, and like in the time after that, I think that there was this, every time I would watch No Way Home, which pretty regularly, I really love that movie, I got met with this like horrible feeling of sadness that Peter has been all alone for all these years. Mm-hmm. And this movie picks up and tells you like, 5 years he has been totally by himself. He's got a weird relationship with a specialized ChatGPT bot named Evie that he talks to.
Yeah, who's by the way voiced by Naomi Watts.
What?
Right?
Yeah, I was like,
Crazy.
what? Also,
Naomi Watts was in one of Spider-Man's first movies, or one of Tom Holland's first movies ever, which I think that's why she was in it, which is cool.
That's very true. Yeah, that's another thing I took issue with. I'm fine with it, but like, I love the idea of him being like, how do you like asbestos? You're living in this attic compartment. That's that. But then he's got a freaking he's got his own like homemade fabricator. He's got like a fold phone. He's got like 16 monitors.
He's a dumpster diver. I totally believe that within reason, he could have acquired some, and I don't think this Spider-Man's above stealing a thing or two from the bad guy. Like, imagine he stops Hammerhead,
right?
Or he stops Tombstone, and then he just kind of, he's like, all the evidence is there. I took the computer monitors because I need that for my setup.
Right, right. That would not surprise me in the least,
for money. They don't go into what he does for money.
They don't, and
I think that's a good thing because there's no Peter Parker in this movie, and that's why, like, when you pick up on the next one, it's been a couple years, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm a photographer for the Daily Bugle or whatever, and then like you could have a little moment where like, don't those guys hate you?
I don't want all of that,
but I'm good at taking pictures. You can have
that's
that
the thing. Like,
screen.
It was like the lack of Jonah and supporting cast was glaring, but that's what the movie's about, right? And it's about like how, but part of the fun of Spider-Man is that like he is typically self-isolating, and he typically like screws up and upsets people, and they give him like a million chances, but like is the robustness of his supporting cast, and how, like, you know, his inner circle isn't just the best friend that never existed and the girl that he dated in high school. Like, he's dated like 16 people from high school to marriage, and and they're all really interesting characters, one of whom could be their own whole lead of the movie if you like cats. But you know, DC does it really well. But I feel like the argument against that is that this is a movie about him learning that he needs friends, because he has that moment with Jean at the end where he's just like, I'm not going to be alone anymore, you know. And I'm like, that's really cool. What are you going to do about that? Like, how? And it's like, I think it's more just like he's opening his heart. Like, I'm opening my heart. I'm going to allow myself to have friends, and then he's like rewarded by getting them back. But
you know what?
I think
you know what it is.
In the next one, we'll get more.
I don't. At the end, did you think Ned got his memories back?
Yes, 100%.
You know what? I don't think Ned got his memories back. I think that it's plausible because he is magic. So if anyone's body chemistry could break the spell, it's probably Ned, right? Like he's got his magic fingers or whatever the hell. That's weird to say that, but that could make sense.
That makes sense.
I think it's the echoes of that. Like he realized that Peter was the answer to all of his questions in that moment. That's what that moment is, and then he knew.
One thing they never show about Spider-Man is that he should be a chemistry genius, and if he invented web fluid. Right, yeah. I mean, they do actually mention that in this, because he is using web fluid. He never explained how he made it in the last 3 movies, which is why you like the organic webs. In this movie, there is a scene where he's sitting down with Ned and pretending that he's just Spider-Man. Like, Ned doesn't know who he is, right? Because his memories are gone. But he's like, so how do you think I made the web fluid? Like, if you're such an expert on me, tell me what's in it. And he starts guessing, like, it might be Kevlar or Teflon. And he's like, all right, close. Like, they do kind of talk about it a little bit, which I like. You know, and they kind of show they are huge nerds, and he does know his chemistry, so he could feasibly make web fluid. They do kind of do that in this movie a little bit.
Peter, because MJ had said Peter earlier to Spider-Man. Right. Maybe he remembers, and maybe Jean did something to him and to MJ to like give them the ability to remember almost.
Well, like, MJ crying, I think that, like, because at first I was watching that moment where like Professor X freezes everybody, and MJ crying during that moment, I thought it was just showing the pain, like, you know, giving us a face that we recognize and sympathize with, who is showing you this is a horrible, brutal experience they're going through. Yeah. And it's probably that, but I wonder if the crying is also like getting a psychic whammy unlocked something in her brain, so she also remembers that he's Peter. But
they could do that.
I think at the end of the movie,
they could do that. At the end of the movie, they might.
We're meant to think 100% Ned knows that's Peter, and that's like, it's all. I want to say it's almost.
Because we cut from Mary Jane sitting on the roof, and she's like twiddling something, and maybe it's a necklace she has. I don't remember if it was like something that Peter got her. I don't remember, but she's like clearly thinking about Spider-Man and smiles a little bit, and it could just be like she's thankful. Maybe she's starting to fall in love again as someone who doesn't know who Peter is, like Gamora and Peter Quill in Guardians of the Galaxy. Or it did unlock, and you could also do that in a future movie. Oh, by the way, I remember now that Psychic Blast that Jean Grey did unlock the memories. I believe that the handshake he does with Ned at the end unlocks the memory, because earlier in the movie when it was Mary Jane kissing him and she's like, oh, you thought like a magic kiss was gonna break the spell? Like, how silly of you. I feel like this is the magic kiss. It's just a handshake with the bro, and that brings back the memory. Like Breaking Bad shit. Yeah. Like, imagine him having a whole array of weapons. Yeah, exactly. In the comics at one point, one of the writers was like, well, he's a genius. He should be able to invent stuff and patent it. And so he does, and then becomes a tech billionaire. I like how they did Gamora in Guardians 3 where the dude just had to get over it and that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, and that's also kind of hinted at here. Maybe he'll get another girlfriend. Maybe he'll start dating Gwen or somebody else. And then they'll have a arc as well. Or it could be we're just going to get them back together. I don't know. But I like the idea that it does, that the bro-ship was stronger than the relationship. Like, that's funny to me.
It's like a cosmic thing. It's not like necessarily literally like eternity from Love and Thunder. It's like, you're welcome, Peter. I think it's just Peter's like, okay, I spent 4 or 5 years being closed off to relationships and having a life, and I went through this catharsis, and I may have invented technology that will doom the mutants and create Sentinels. Let's not talk about the implications of that. And but you know what? I'm willing to make friends again. And the universe was like, and here's your best friend back.
Whether you age isn't up to you, but how you do.
You know what? This might be its own video because I think we could debate this because I didn't pick it up that way. The way that I read that, like, I think for the very first time, I trust this franchise not to give us those like haphazard wins. Like,
yeah.
Dude, I mean, like, here's the thing. In Far From Home, which I love, it's really weird that he likes MJ. That's not set up at all. In none of the 4 movies prior, Civil War, Homecoming, Infinity War, Endgame, no amount of a romantic dynamic between him and MJ, but you pick up and he's like, I really like this girl and I gotta get her this thing and I want to get her this Black Dahlia necklace and like all these other things.
That's what it was,
not
the
set up
Black
and it just
Dahlia
happens.
necklace.
This new version of Spider-Man, like the fact that they didn't give him a kiss and they didn't end it with an MJ scene tells me that they're okay with slow playing it. I think he said, I'm not doing this alone anymore.
Yeah.
He's got the friendship with Frank. He re-meets Ned.
What I did was I made the Nosferatu. So we go here to the encyclopedia. Nosferatu is a combination of 3 already combined balls. It's the hardest one to get. You have to get the spider, the vampire lord, and this thing, the Mosquito King. So that's why I'm taking those. And then you combine and get this, and this heals you. So, and it does a lot of damage. So now I have this, and I'm going to combine that with Hemorrhage. Because I love doing that. Because Hemorrhage is probably one of the most powerful balls in the game. Because it deals like a percentage of damage rather than a specific amount. So it can scale with how hard the enemies will get later on. Especially in Endless mode. So I love doing that. Yeah. Oh, there's super tactics to this, man. This is actually probably the most powerful ball in the game. Has 10% chance to kill enemies on impact, healing you for 5 health. If you get this and combine it with, like you want to combine it with something like Maggot or Voluptuous Egg Sac or Spider Queen, so that every little ball that's created from these turns into one of the powerful balls. I could also do that with this. Combine this with like Spider Queen or something. Let's try that.
And I think that there is a connection there, and he'll probably tell him about himself, and maybe in the future he'll get his memories back. But I didn't feel like he'd gotten that back, and now he's gonna, like, I love Spider-Man as a freaking hoe, dude. I like him as a slut going around. Because he's awesome. It's awesome, and he's got all this chemistry. The bit with the like attractive girl that's like, we live on the same floor, and he's like,
well, then I gotta get off this
okay, I gotta move up to the asbestos floor. That's so funny. And then him stealing her clothes. That whole scene is so good. It's so fucking hilarious.
I also
it's so
love,
Spider-Man.
by the way, not only that, but narratively.
I love the mechanics. The new update is coming out the day I'm leaving on vacation. I'm like, nah. I'm not gonna play it for 2 weeks.
You see, when you see her again, she's got a guy.
Yeah.
Like
she needed a guy. She was looking for a guy, and she got one when the month.
Yeah.
Well, it's been 5 years. He's been living up there for 5 years. So it's plenty of time for her to find a guy.
That's true.
But like I think that they're opening the door. Here's what I want. Here's what I think might happen. I think that we have now. Peter is not one of the, we've seen Obsession. Peter's not like a bear, weird style incel that's going to be waiting. He'll accept the fact that MJ does not remember him and does not love him. And he's not going to try and get her. I think he appreciates the friendship. Yes. And he's going to be like, okay, hey, good to see you. And he's going to get a black cat maybe. Or he might get a Felicia Artie. We might get something totally different. We might get any number of love interest potentials. Yeah. And then you have Mary Jane, who's hiding the fact that maybe she does have her memories back. Maybe she did get her memories back. Or maybe she has fallen in love with him again and is trying to get her memories back. And he's have her be jealous. And then they will end up together maybe by the end of that movie or whatever.
Right.
But
right. Whenever there's
a little bit of wiggle room, Sal. I think we got a little wiggle room here, man. I don't know.
I think you're right. I really want to see that. I kind of love that idea. I love the idea of actually because, the expectation that I had was that if they introduced Felicia into this universe, she would be a complication for the MJ relationship. But I kind of love the idea that he's like, okay, you know what? I respect you. MJ, you don't love me. I like you. I love you, but I'll be friends with you and I won't force it. And I won't, push you into something you're not ready for or even interested in. So I'm going to move on. I'm going to meet somebody else. And he meets like Gwen or anybody, right?
Don't meet Gwen. And for her sake.
I know, right? Or Gwen.
For the sake of her.
But somebody else, right? And then Felicia comes in, and Felicia can be a complication for a relationship that maybe we didn't expect to, but are now rooting for. And then the whole thing implodes. And then MJ's like, by the way, I remember who you are. And it's like, oh,
it would be a different.
Oh man,
a number of things with that.
I would love to write this fan film with you too, man.
Right? Yeah. It's
like this is pretty good.
But the thing is, what's wonderful about this movie and the real gold of it is that it's making people excited about Spider-Man in a good way. And I think that anybody who's complaining about it the way I've seen is just trying, but
it'd be like a relationship where he remembers, but she is like, I fell in love with you because of where I remember meeting you now, which would be weird. Which is why I think the Guardians made the better decision. And had them just like, I'm a different person now. It doesn't make sense. I like their idea of maybe they will get back. You can do either. It's having your cake and eating it too. I want stories where Spider-Man's dating so we can get those, but then we want him to eventually end up with MJ, and he can again. Maybe she'll get her memories back because Doctor Strange undoes the spell, or Doctor Doom undoes the spell. Who knows?
Oh, I can be a contrarian for money. I'm not necessarily suggesting if you didn't like the movie that you were...
I'm going to take you to my Twitter for a second.
Oh, yes.
I have been unable to stop retweeting the rage bait stuff. This person, I'll call him Captain Dumbass McStupid Fuckface, tweeted, how is Spider-Man able to stick to walls and still have Spidey sense with the inhibitor on him? I thought it was supposed to take his powers away. Hashtag Spider-Man Brand New Day, to which someone replies, a suppressor does not equal a full power wipe. It meant he needs to stop the mutations from getting worse, not turn him into a regular dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doom has crazy powers. Very, very much magic based, a lot of it. It's science and magic mixed together. So we're going to need Doctor Strange to do some shit.
He took Jean's powers away, is how this guy responded. So I quote tweeted that, and I said, wow, wouldn't it be crazy if the movie had an entire sequence where a college professor clearly explains the answer to that exact question, and then it's Bruce saying, I'm always angry? Because, are you stupid? And it's like a series of tweets like that. Like this person, why does the mask look so cheap in this new movie?
Yeah.
And I just quote tweeted that, and I said, rage bait. They're trying to get me, dude.
Yeah, no, you're just pushing me. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? It's like they are even aware of what criticisms were going to be, and so they worked into the plot, explanations for it. When they said Hulk was going to be in this movie, you're like, oh, we're going to get a Spider-Man Hulk fight. And we do, and it's awesome. But Hulk Defenders, which I don't blame you because you've been done dirty for a long time, despite the fact that Mark Ruffalo is a fantastic Hulk, and I like a lot of interpretations of him thereof, but they're going to say, oh, they're going to nerf Hulk and Spider-Man's going to beat him up. They're going to showcase his strength and make him, easily defeat the Hulk. No, he gets his ass trounced a lot and needs it tries to use shocker gauntlets to win, which is awesome. Peter being clever and using his environment. It's everything's built in. It's just it's just a tight movie that makes sense and thinks about the things that, you know, it thinks about what it's doing. It's not necessarily thinking about what you're going to say about it, but it's thinking about what they want to convey.
Dude, Peter's a genius in this movie.
Yeah.
Pete is a genius. Like, actually a full-on genius, more than the Tobys or the Andrews or even the earlier Toms. Like, yeah, in the last Tom, like, he is working with the Fabricator, but there's Stark Tech involved. And this one, he is impressing Bruce Banner to the point of skepticism. Bruce is like, who are you again? He's like, yeah, your gene sequencing, it's using an mRNA thing to, but could you factor in any DNA? And like the magnetic fields, and then also having MJ be a genius.
Eric
and
Bana
like,
has been doing
your
Republican
goggles
shit.
or whatever you call them.
Eric Bana, I believe. Wait, or maybe I'm thinking of someone else. No, I'm thinking of Jim Caviezel, who played Jesus in the Mel Gibson movie. My bad.
Having so much of that, so good. Frank, you don't have what I need. Do you have an anti-static mat? Do you have micro tools? Do you have this? And he's like, I got all three of them.
When heartburn hits, reach for Tums and love food back.
Woo! 3 sets of laws, check. Okay, kiss my Swedish boyfriend, work, fold laundry. Oh, it'll be so much easier if I could just sell my clothes on Depop. Cause there's no selling fees.
What the fuck is this and what is this commercial? That's crazy.
Yeah.
She's like, why? To make bombs.
If they somehow get Banner Hulk back, I'll lose it.
Out loud. He was
Might
such a
in Doomsday or Secret
John
Wars.
Bernthal.
Relationship was
I
great.
never want to look into his. I hear there might be like a controversy. Something. I'm not looking into it, guys. This is me willfully admitting in public. I'm not looking into it. This guy's such a good actor. Don't take him from me. Don't take him from me. I loved him in Odyssey. He was so good in this. His chemistry with Tom Holland is freaking magnetic. You can taste that these guys know each other, and like the relationship, dude. Him having to give Tom Holland the like wake
What
up.
do I want to do? I'm gonna leave it up to you, Natch. Do I mix the Nosferatu? Here, do I mix Nosferatu with hemorrhage and go for damage, or do I save the hemorrhage, mix the hemorrhage with this, and then mix the Nosferatu with one of these two, and spread both of them? Let's spread both of them. Let's go crazy. Damage, okay.
Wake up. You think this is a lifestyle choice? This is a sentence, okay? This isn't what if I had someone to love to, I wouldn't be some coward hiding away from fuck. It's so good. It's so good.
It's so
This
good.
was
I never would have
supposed to be a 20-minute
expected to
review,
like
and we're at the
root for the
46th
Punisher.
minute.
I know.
Yeah,
well, because there's just so much. Like, there's a lot in this movie. We didn't even talk about like Matt Gargan returning and being Scorpion and it being fantastic. You know,
God, he was so good.
The implications thereof. The post-credit scene, which probably should be its own video, but
The needle drops are all really good.
They are really good.
Not music that I don't listen to Tame Impala that much. I listen to a little bit of Bad Bunny, but not much. And I was both times I was like, this is a cool sequence where Peter starts following him and that song is playing and it's like and then into the party and it's the music at the party and the transition into that it's like, oh, dude, I can't get over how much I loved this movie. Someone in our comments said, yeah, it's good, but it's just more Marvel slop. I think that you're wrong. I think you're wrong. I think that this movie has flashbacks This movie is the first movie maybe that they've ever done that has flashback sequences that aren't some weird dream bubble or whatever. It's
we do get a dream bubble, but still.
I noticed that, and I made a connection with Daredevil season 2 or Daredevil Born Again season 2 and The Boys and Stranger Things, all of which had flashbacks to earlier seasons. Going like, you almost reminding the audience why they should care if you're emotionally invested in these characters. And they had it in this movie, and it made me go, well, you didn't need this. This is a good movie on its own. You don't need to remind the audience why we care. But I think it was used more tactfully in this movie.
Yeah, right. We can get dream bubble sequences, but you know what I mean? Like he was remembering while he was dealing with trauma, which after I went to a party at some point many years ago where I saw my ex-girlfriend, with someone else, and it hurt me. And I remember, okay, I'm driving home and it's raining and I'm watching my memories with her back because that's what a human does. And he's swinging and he's crying and he's thinking about all the love he had with it. And that's beautiful. It was seamless. I thought that was such a bold decision from them to do that. That's not something that they've done in any of these movies. And it was like, this is a direct tie-in to No Way Home in such a real way without feeling like, Sony's original plan for this movie was to bring Toby and Andrew back and make it an even bigger, more multiversal film.
Oh, no, thank you.
And it's like, there's a universe in which I'd love to see that, but this isn't.
We're going to see that. We'll see it in the other one. Because how will they make me give a flying F about Doomsday or Secret Wars if they don't put Andrew and Toby in that one?
Right.
You got to save them for that. I got to see Toby and Hugh Jackman interact with each other.
Right?
So let's go. I think if you want to cap it off, after the final thoughts, the last thing we need to talk about. Who is Keith David in this movie?
He's the voice of the spider.
He's the voice. He's the narrator. He's the spider narrator. No, he is someone. Okay, you don't cast Keith David as a red herring to use in a trailer voiceover and then only have him kind of off screen. There's a name attached to that voice.
You think that there's going to be a bigger thing there?
Yes, I think they locked him in to be in the movie. I think they were like, we want Keith David. He wanted him to play this character. There are so many characters that Keith David could be. I'm gonna go with Kurt Connors.
Oh,
yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because I'm sure now that he's gonna be Peter again, he's gonna want to go back to college.
Exactly. I mean, he was at ESU. We also established ESU in this movie. I was like, yes. Plus, they're going to need another professor that turns into.
Oh my god! In the ESU scene, Cindy Moon's at ESU with him.
That's right.
And I don't know if it's the same actress from the one that was in the magnet school with him. It might be.
Right. Probably not. I mean, we've had 3 or 4 statures in the MCU. It probably isn't the same actor, but maybe.
Right. Well, and regardless, I think casting they're gonna pick and choose when they go into, because they're doing a soft reboot after Secret Wars. They've already talked about that. They'll pick and choose the pieces they like. Tony Revolori, whatever, I call him Tony Ravioli. He's a real funny guy, and his Flash, and especially in Far From Home and No Way Home, really good comedy bits, great comedy bits. He's the most abysmal casting ever. Him, and then the casting that Kevin Feige tried to do, but thank God Lin-Manuel Miranda was not available to play the Vulture, and we got Michael Keaton, because that would have been horrible. Great. But when you hear that Lin-Manuel was supposed to be Vulture, you kind of understand that Tony Revolori is Flash Thompson. I hope, for the sake of our guy, man, I hope for Benny's sake that we get a new Flash and we get to have Agent Venom one day. That was one of, if not his favorite comic storyline. He talked about that all the time. Yeah, he just felt such kinship with that character and everything. And it's dude, I want that so badly. Yep. I hope you're right. I hope we get Keith David and more. Him as Kurt Connors would be awesome. Keith David the Lizard would be crazy.
Final thoughts? Just go see the movie again. See it in IMAX. You can't, but
You can. Hey,
you can finally?
For the next 2 weeks in China, you can see it in IMAX. Great. And for the rest of this week in Korea, you can. To go back to the brief conversation I was talking about earlier. This movie, just it really, really embodied how I felt after losing my friend, and the
Tide's boosted. for
Look at all the
smelling work
health I'm
clothes.
sapping out of this.
It's cleaner, whiter, brighter, and fresher.
Action sign.
I have to be careful not to
So what
crash
Best
the
Egg helped me do
computer.
was basically clean up.
The isolation, the sadness, and all of that. And then also, like, it's a movie that, you know, I don't love when people say this because it's annoying to speculate what Benny would have loved and not loved, and what stupid ass fight he would be picking with us about this niche nitpick that he'd be like, well, you know, Kingpin isn't in the movie, so does the movie really work, cousin? It's like, yes, Benny, it's fine without Kingpin. Okay, but
I wanted
clearly
Kingpin.
Kingpin is supposed to be in it. This is just filler. What's all this romance? Like, maybe he would have had it. I think he would have loved this movie. And dude, I had this like shattering realization when I was in the theater this time, and I kind of had it a year ago at Superman, where like the last act of Superman, I'm just bawling. I'm bawling. I cannot breathe. I'm crying so badly. And this movie, I'm running that shit back. But in this one, I had this realization, and this movie makes it so much more positive for me, where it was like, every time I see a movie that I really love for the rest of my life, I'm gonna be kind of sad because I'm gonna think of my friend. And this movie just reminded me that like that's good. It's good to feel sad like that. That's Ben. That's Ben being there. It's also him up somewhere, wherever he is, laughing at us for crying. He's making fun of us like, oh, he's definitely just laughing at me, being like, yeah, that's real stupid you cried at this movie, dude. You're real stupid you were crying for me or whatever. But like, I
love
really,
that they're talking
I
about
felt
it,
that. Like, this
too.
was like a really
They're
nice,
not, like, ignoring.
It was a nice
trying
way to
shy away.
bookend, not bookend my journey with grief, because like it's something that you carry with you.
Exactly.
But I think when I watched No Way Home, I felt very sad at losing Aunt May. And when I watched Doomsday, Endgame, I felt really sad at losing Tony. But I don't think I really understood those characters and these stories.
They didn't want to take the Fisk? Oh my
Into
god.
this movie specifically, like that grief for me. Just it was like it was on
That's a
screen.
good
It was
dad
all
joke,
over his
Mitch.
face and his performance. The way that he makes jokes when he's clearly so heartbroken. It's all I do, dude. It's my whole personality in a fucking nutshell. Is me being like,
we're
yeah, okay,
lagging
well,
on this.
You know, let's be funny and silly here, so I don't have to talk about this. Or I do want to talk about it, but I need to make everyone laugh, so I can talk about it without killing the vibe today. And
a lot of
I feel like
balls on the
Spider-Man was
screen
doing
right
that
now.
the whole time.
That's what Spider-Man is. Like it's about like kind of like overcoming grief or living with it and making it like a companion as opposed to like making it your master. And grief is Spider-Man's like master. but the lesson for the rest of us is to not be him and to like be better or grow.
Yeah,
and
that's my closing thoughts, man. I'm gonna see it in ScreenX. I hear it was shot with ScreenX in mind for some reason. The 3 movie screens, so I'm gonna see it in ScreenX next.
Interesting.
I hear there's a DSX screen near me, which
know,
is
right?
pretty
It's
close to
super cool.
IMAX that's showing it. So
Very
I'm
psychedelic.
gonna see there, and then I'm gonna try to go to Korea or China. I'm actually gonna try to see it in IMAX. It's that I love this movie that much, and it's worth that to me. I think everybody's criticisms that aren't being obtuse and didn't understand the plot, which is the people on Twitter, and also IGN who gave it a 7. IGN, nobody respects you. I hope you know that. I don't know if someone from IGN likes this channel. Come on, a freaking 7. They gave the Marvels an 8. I like the Marvels.
I like the Marvels, but that ain't an 8.
Dude.
No. And it certainly
if that's
isn't
an 8, this is a fucking 20. Okay,
Exactly.
So I'm gonna see this movie a bunch more times. This is a 55-ish minute video. We'll probably have another one coming out at some point with some different angle. We're definitely gonna have our do they remember debate. I think that's gonna be fun. We'll have like a post-credit conversation. But yeah, this movie just fucking slaps.
It rips,
slaps.
man.
I love it. I'm gonna see it a bunch more, man.
Yep. If you haven't already seen it, definitely check it out. If you have seen it, check it out again. But like again, this isn't like a massive universe where it's like, please go see it or it's not going to work out. It's the second highest gross movie of all time. We're fine.
You're fine. But I think you owe it to yourself to see it in a crowded theater. And
yes,
this is COVID's gone. This is the first Spider-Man movie that's totally out of that bubble. And you don't have to feel the fear in your chest. Like Benny's wife is immunocompromised, and he was always really hesitant to go into crowded places. Why he built a theater in his home. And now that COVID is less of an issue, seeing a crowd makes me really excited again.
It was cool to like walk into the theater and have it be full, which
which I
didn't realize was a rare thing until Friday or Thursday.
God, yeah. And, you know, I work out of Los Angeles. A lot of times I'm watching movies over there in LA where, like, movies tend to be crowded there because everyone in LA is a movie person, whatever. And there's so many theaters. And if you go to a really expensive, nice one, yeah, you're going to get a packed screening because they have 1,000 seats.
So what
and
we
they're
want to do now, we got the freeze thing. We want to get another, like, maggot so we can get this freeze to spread, and then it'll keep everything on the top, and maybe we can go for a really long time.
An IMAX auditorium or whatever. Birmingham, Alabama. I mean, a line out the door. The only reason I wasn't late for my showtime yesterday is that shout out Henry. He's a fan of mine that works the AMC at Hoover, and Henry let me skip the line, scan my code so I could like pass a line that was out the door around the parking lot. That big of a line to just get into the movie. Shout out Henry, and then shout out Cooper at the Destin, Florida. I have fans at the AMC, Sal. I don't know what to say, but I like was buying my popcorn. I was with my fiance and my fiance's little sister, and I got recognized by this really wonderful guy in Destin, Florida, at this showing. And I was like, "You just made me look so cool, dude. You just made me look awesome." We'll be back with several more videos. We've already shot 3 of them that's not out yet. You're gonna get a Dan and Husson Avatar review. You're gonna get an IMAX conversation. You're gonna get a Is Sony selling Spider-Man? Maybe I'll reshoot
Probably
something.
not.
Probably not. Maybe never. I'm gonna reshoot the ending of that one because we filmed that like a week ago. This 20-minute video is now an hour, so I gotta hit the road. But I'll see you guys next time here at Absolute. Subscribe, expect a Patreon coming soon, as well as a brand new podcast with me and my co-host Scootish, the Absolutely Pod, launching in days. We'll catch you guys very soon.
All right, what's going on over here? Let's check out the Pac-Man thing first, and then the pod save.
This summer has been fun watching the World Cup. The United States, it was definitely a roller coaster.
If I do this right, I can make this game last the next hour.
This is my signature.
So we took a look at that the other day on the David Pakman subreddit, which is absolutely crashing out, melting down. But now David Pakman himself has released another video, one in which he is responding to some comments and questions from the viewer. I guess he does this every couple months or something like that. I know it's a repeat segment on the David Pakman program, and Zach's getting a screenshot of that facial expression. There's many good screenshots to be had from this one, Zach. But let's take a look here, because again, he's kind of doing a mailbag segment, taking some questions from the audience. At some point, he gets into a negative comment from a viewer and responds to the criticism. So do you want to take a look at what he has to say, Zach?
Hell yeah. All right, a lot of angry people this week. Stevie says this podcast is a load of bullshit.
Shout out to Stevie.
Vanguardian, I'm sure.
You have a man of few words. He didn't feel the need to put out a 20-minute long segment, like Zach and I do. But I think he says it best. I couldn't have said it better myself, Stevie.
It's a free country, like they used to say in elementary school. If you don't like the podcast, you don't have to listen to it. You don't have to watch it. I think a lot of people are deciding that.
Yeah.
You're about to hear David be like, many people are attacking this podcast, disgracing this podcast. They want you to punish this podcast and unsubscribe from this podcast. But we're gonna fight. We're gonna stand up to this onslaught of attack. We're gonna be tough as a community. That's what he's about to start saying, guys, because right now, first it's fine, you can all get the fuck out of here, and then you start to say, oh my god, what? I'm not making as much money. Oh, you guys, you did leave. We watched this with the Young Turks, right? We watched this with the Young Turks. First they said, fine, get out of here, we don't need you, and then they were like, shit, we need some money. Hey, Peter Thiel, can we get some of that peace program? And he's like, yes, but you have to suck Tucker's cock once or twice a week on air. And they said, how about we do it?
Congrats on the 1K. I usually stay busy during lunch. Forgot to mention it. No worries, Ghost. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I gotta figure out how to monetize, and we'll see about that. And I got to figure out how to raid on YouTube. We're going to see if we can figure that out at the end of the streams. We'll see if that works.
Every single night.
Yup, 100%. You know, obviously David Pakman already has tons of corporate ad reads, sponsorships. They keep his boat afloat. But yeah, it's going to be pretty funny to see how he responds to this.
If you don't like the podcast, you don't have to listen to it.
This might
you don't have
crash
to watch
the
it.
game.
I mean, listen, you're not here with a gun to your head. If you don't like it, find a different podcast. I never understand. One of the things, maybe I'm different, I don't know. But number one, it has never occurred to me to write nasty messages to people whose shows I either deliberately watch or accidentally came across. If I were to see an episode on Fox News,
and again, isn't the whole point
my
of this
God.
segment that he responds to feedback?
Look, I had a conversation about this recently, but like, it's the internet, man. Like, it's a giant comment section. You know, I'm gonna go say hi to Pep. Thanks for the super chat. No worries, Natch. Thank you so much. So he's live, so I'll try to raid into him when I'm done. I gotta figure out how to do that on YouTube. But yeah.
Like, yeah, sorry, sometimes
Thank you for
feedback is
hanging out.
positive, bro. He's like, I can't imagine leaving a negative comment, you know, giving someone negative feedback. Here he is fucking supposedly taking the feedback, responding to questions. Sometimes, again, the feedback's going to be fucking negative. We do a Q&A every single month. And Zach, in our most recent Q&A, we had like multiple questions of people being like, why did you comport yourself this way? I can't believe you said this about Graham Plattner or what. You know, lots of people were trying to confront us over various issues they had with our coverage. We welcome that. We love that. It's one of our favorite parts of that monthly Q&A stream because we enjoy engaging with the criticism. I can't imagine just being like, well, watch something else, you loser.
It's also so funny to come out here and be like, I can't imagine just commenting on something else. When you're a freaking YouTuber and your whole job is to come out here, I never leave comments in the comment section. Yeah, because you go into your bedroom, turn on your camera, and give your comments like that, you fucking moron. You self-righteous prick. What? Oh, it's okay for me to give my serious and substantive feedback to everyone else, but the second somebody dares give me feedback in the feedback segment, yeah, they're gonna be like, sorry, bro, I don't like your sellout hack behavior. I don't like it when you talk shit on DSA because guess what?
Wow.
Those people are making my life
Oh
better.
my God.
AOC, Ilhan Omar.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the people who
It
represent
did
me in my
freeze a little
politics
bit.
because I'm a legitimate progressive. I'm not interested in the people who have to stroke their chin and be like, should I vote for AOC or JD Vance, right? Those are the people that you've decided you want to ally yourself with. Oh, maybe I will support the Republicans because the left has just gone too far crazy. They want to raise the minimum wage. They want to give people health insurance. That's scary because they use the language that's called socialism, and I only call myself a sock dem. It's like, you fucking idiot, dude. You're so transparently corporate and bought off that it's going to start really catching up to you.
This one alpaca hoodie is replacing an entire suitcase full of gear. From Cusco to Kyoto, Bozeman to Vancouver. It's there for you on the long flights, early summits, and everywhere in between.
Yup.
of something I don't like, it would never occur to me, never, to start writing to the host nasty things, insulting his family, insulting his ethnicity, or the kind of crap I get. I would
insulting his ethnicity again. He couldn't even find a comment from someone that was being even remotely anti-Semitic. Where's the evidence to suggest this, bro? You keep saying it. You keep acting like you're, you know, a victim of this anti-Semitic hate campaign. Yet the one comment you chose to respond to shows none of that. This person didn't bring up the fact that you're a Jewish guy. No one gives a fuck, dude.
David, whenever you receive criticism, I have good advice for you. Oh, thank you, Mr. President Netanyahu. What's your... David, whenever anybody says bad things about Israel, say, why are you killing my children? David, this is very good advice. It is going to work. Israel is very popular country. No, it's absolutely horseshit. And there's absolutely no way that if any of those messages existed that we wouldn't be seeing them, that they wouldn't be blasted across the screen. And I imagine if it gets worse, we might even see some fake messages. We had
before from David Pakman. Remember that one segment he did like a couple of years ago?
Absolutely. And and if anybody, David's not dishonest. How come he took down all the ads of him promoting cryptocurrency? How come he took down all of the ads of him shilling for a bunch of corporate nonsense on his show after we busted him for it, after his subreddit busted him for it? He's not honest. He has no standards. He has no integrity. This is a cash machine for him. And as soon as it's not pumping out enough cash, he's going to look for more corporate money to take to make up the difference.
Yup, 100%. And again, this whole segment is literally devoted to responding to feedback. And here he is completely unable to grapple with any sort of criticism of his content or coverage, and he just immediately has to pull the victim card. Again, he can't even reckon with the fact that, hey, maybe I said something that people in my audience disagreed with or disliked. Nope, it's just, it must be because of my ethnicity. Absolutely insane.
It would never occur to me, never, to start writing to the host nasty things, insulting his family, insulting his ethnicity, or the kind of crap I get. I would just change the channel and move on with my life and find something I like. But for some reason, there are people out there, they must lead sad lives, I can only imagine, who do this kind of thing. Just move on. What?
Just move on. And again, like with the family thing, what are people talking about your fucking family? No one even knows about your family. No one knows anything about your kid. Does he even have kids? I don't fucking know. Why would I know? I don't give a shit. It has nothing to do with our criticisms of David Pakman, his content, his coverage, his opinions. Stop straw manning your critics.
Attacks on my family. It's like my mom and dad. Like, yeah, dude, what are you, like a single guy in your 40s?
I was 6 minutes behind somehow and just noticed Pakman is still here.
100%.
Watch something else. Listen to something else. Okay, rated ARG in...
You guys hear that? Listen to something else. Listen to the Vanguard instead of David Pakman. It's out of his own mouth, so take his advice, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Tune into the real home of progressives, the new home of progressives, the Casa del...
The real home of progressives is this space.
Vanguard, always in decline, never hitting bottom. David Pakman, apparently. He's following Ethan's decline. He's going down the destiny drain as it is. And, we're going to continue to chronicle that. We're going to continue to document because he's going to lash out more. He is going to get more vitriolic. He is going to run to the right. He is going to continue to double down on his centrism and his support for more moderate Republicans, just like Destiny, right? I want everybody to remember that in an interview where Destiny's asked if he would support AOC over JD Vance, he's like, I don't know who I can really trust. It's not easy. A lot of people think it'd be easy. It's not easy. And it's like, okay, so you can't decide between the number one foot soldier to fascism besides Donald Trump, his literal right-hand man, heartbeat away from the presidency, as ICE fucking kills people in our streets, as people are deported in mass for no reason. United States citizens go to CCOT in El Salvador. We have gas prices that are like $90.
This is what I mean, man. Like, Destiny it's the same. Destiny is the same as those trolls who were like, how come the inhibitor got rid of his spider sense but made him stronger? Like, you didn't watch the movie. You're not paying attention. You don't read. You have no comprehension. Stop. You're doing this for rage bait. Shut the fuck up. And I don't like. I mean, Pakman's essentially saying, like, stop criticizing me. Or, I would just move on. I wouldn't leave a nasty comment. It's like, all right, you want to be insulated in a bubble and not have anyone question you. I get it. But that's a select group of people, and that's the canceled, if you will. I'll always remember, like, Pro Jared. Pro Jared is probably the best example of this. Like, he had a controversy, but now he's just putting out his video game stuff consistently, and his audience that's left is still sizable enough for him to keep making money off this and living like this. And I'm sure he bans anyone in a chat or a comment section that brings up the scandal, and it's just like, it's over, it's done, I'm moving on. But you're never gonna get mainstream. You're never gonna get bigger than you are again. And if you do, people will bring up the scandal again, and you will have another wave of followers leave.
A barrel going up. We have all kinds of problems. 30% increase in inflation for food, or 30% increase in price for food because of inflation. All kinds of nonsense happening. And yet you mean to tell me You don't think you could support AOC, who wants to give you a $25 minimum wage, who wants to come out here and say, yeah, we're going to actually enforce antitrust laws. We're going to make sure that there's data center moratoriums. You can't really tell me which one of those you think is better. Then you're not on the left. You're not even a Democrat. You are a Republican who is like mildly suspect about the direction the party's going now that fascists have the power.
Harbor Freight, built for tool people.
Like me.
What you learn should carry forward, not just in the moment, but in how you work, contribute, and
I think this is crazy. The fact that, again, the Pod Save audience, this is not a secular talk or breaking points or Hassan Piker comment section. This is Pod Save America, which seems to be about as, centrist, moderate, Obama coded Democratic podcast as you can possibly get. So the fact that they're turning against the likes of Gretchen Whitmer and totally disagree with the analysis from Iglesias, that's absolutely crazy. We need a new progressive era to address these robber barons, not another moderate era. Damn, we got a freaking communist revolution popping off in the comments of Pod Save America. This is hilarious.
Let's talk about the Pod Save bros. Let's get into that. But yeah, Gavin, why don't you tell me a little bit about this clip from the Pod Save America guys?
Yeah, the Pod Save crew is interesting because obviously they're all from like the Obama world, very establishment coded, very NPR, normie dim coded production. But I do think they do a better job than a guy like David Pakman. We've been raking Pakman over the coals for some of his commentary as it relates to DSA candidates and people like Hassan Piker. Pod Save America has taken a different approach. They try to appeal more to the left. They try to hold an olive branch out to the actual left. I think they've had Hassan Piker on their show before in the last year or two. So, stuff like that. But, at their heart, they still are libs. And these kind of conversations still take place on the platform. Moderate Democrats make their case for 2028, and in this case, the moderate Democrat they brought onto the show is Matt Iglesias, co-founder of Vox, someone that Zach specifically has always despised. So I'm really excited to get your opinion on his commentary here. Again, it's just funny. Moderate Democrats make their case for 2028. Yeah, thanks a lot. I can't wait to hear the case get made by none other than Matt Iglesias. And I'm excited too to show you guys the response from their audience to this clip because it might not be what they were expecting, and I think it's very telling as to where the base is at, and it kind of proves what I've been talking about with even moderate Democrats, even the kind of Democrats that support moderate candidates in the past, even they're getting radicalized.
Last question on this. So who do you like in 28?
I think, dude, it's just, you look around as a normie, you're going, ICE is shooting people in the street, everything costs more, who's fighting this? Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi aren't doing shit, Hakeem Jeffries ain't doing shit, AOC's on the edge, Hassan Piker's on the edge, DSA is on the edge of trying to change the opposition party, and they're going, yeah, we need to. Someone's doing it, I guess they're doing it. Sometimes it just pays to be the first.
As a potential candidate who could carry this message.
Sure. What I tell people is we know.
Oh my God, I've never heard him talk.
Statewide elected officials.
I thought they sped up
swing states, right?
A disclaimer:
there you go.
The speed.
We did not fuck with this man's audio. This is his
Thank
real ass
you.
voice. Okay, no more ad hominems.
That's crazy.
Yup, 100%. And also, I just wanted to, before we get into too much of his answer,
I really
also
thought
want to
they
show you
did.
the branding of this clip with their thumbnail. The center left strikes back. So let's hear Mr. Matt Iglesias when he's asked, okay, so which candidates actually represent the center left the best? Which of these moderates do you think actually should lead that faction of the party and the whole Democratic Party ultimately? Let's hear what Matt has to say.
Sure. What I tell people is we know the universe.
Bro, ain't no way that's his voice. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen him talk, period. I've only seen his on Twitter.
Of statewide elected officials in the critical swing states, right? It's Kelly and Gallego in Arizona. It's Whitmer in Michigan. It's Shapiro in Pennsylvania. There's some other, Tony Evers is too old.
So we got Whitmer in Michigan, who, as we just talked about, apparently her influence means nothing. You know, her endorsement means absolutely jack shit.
In her own state.
In her own state. If anything, it seems to have backfired and increased Abdul El-Sayed's poll numbers, you know, a week before the fucking election. So we got Gretchen Whitmer and then Josh Shapiro. These guys are really going to try to make Josh Shapiro happen. I think it's undeniable. And, you know, we took a look at a clip from about a couple months ago of Josh Shapiro on the Pod Save crew, or on the Pod Save America podcast, right? Getting interviewed. And the comment section was not having that either. They were completely in revolt. They were like, get this fucking, you know, Zionist loser away from me. Someone that literally volunteered with the IDF at one point in his life. About as Zionist a Democrat as you could get, right? So the fact that those are basically the first two names out of his mouth, I guess the establishment doesn't have much to offer as far as counter candidates to excite the voters against this new wave of DSA excitement. That's who they're going to put up to excite the voters. We already see in Michigan that it's not going to work for the establishment because Gretchen Whitmer just came out in favor of Haley Stevens, and it seems to have done absolutely nothing to help Haley.
It will hurt
I will
Gretchen
come out
Whitmer,
and say,
actually.
if Josh Shapiro, which he almost certainly will, runs for president in 2028, it will ruin his entire political career. I don't give a fuck how popular he is in Pennsylvania. The Democrats who are smart and the GOP, if it ever came to that, would run ads round the clock about Ellen Greenberg. How many times would you stab yourself if you were committing suicide, Matt Iglesias? Answer me that before you give your support to Josh Shapiro, who was literally paid off in campaign donations by a murderer's father. Yes, let's look at that. Let's show this. I'll move us out of the way so you guys can get a full look. They said this was a suicide. Are you kidding me? This was a murder. This is a murder, okay? This is a murder of a man's girlfriend, partner, love interest, whatever the fuck it was. I don't have all the facts of the case in front of me. But answer me this. Anybody who plans to support Josh Shapiro in 2028 for even a second, okay? You don't care about any of the poor children in Palestine. They don't have anything to do to you. Well, fine. You want to talk about crime in this country? You want to talk about law and order? You want to talk about how the left is crazy for defund the police, abolish prisons? Fine. You tell me how pro-law and order it is to elect a guy as the leader of the party who is like, I'll look the other way on a homicide in my fucking district because the rich daddy's gonna support me in my future political endeavors. Are you insane? Are you insane?
Yeah, 100%. And in case anyone's not familiar, Josh Shapiro was the attorney general during that case. You know, he wasn't the governor yet; he was the attorney general. But yeah, he was, you know, directly involved in that case and led to the ruling of it being a suicide, which is almost comical to imagine. Imagine committing suicide,
crazy,
right?
dude.
Stabbing yourself like what 28, 30 times or whatever. Like that's a pretty ineffective way to off yourself. I hate to say, I feel like most people would come to that conclusion.
Katie Hobbs seems like I kind of like her, but it seems like she totally refuses to do press of any kind.
Yeah.
Like someone who's not going to run. John Fetterman is like not going to be a leading contender, I think we could say. But like we know this
want
universe
John
of
Fetterman?
candidates. And the question is, which of them is going to try to go beyond? Like you were saying, right? They're going to stand up and they're going to be like, I know how to win in the swing states. You should vote for me. This is the most practical thing to do.
Profile.
I kind of agree with that. It's also just not that compelling, right? And so who's going to say, I know how to win in the swing states, and the way I did it is that I said, and then you got to say the thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you have to actually go say something, and something that I have
Really brilliant analysis from Matt. You gotta say something. Yeah, that I guess that's true. You know, you traditionally are expected to speak on the campaign trail. So, thanks a lot. I'm glad that you're a trusted political commentator, given that sort of analysis, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, the idea that progressive candidates can't win in swing states is about to be so thoroughly debunked after midterms of this year that this tired talking point that Matt wants to continue to peddle is going to be completely worthless even for him, because people are going to be like, what about in Michigan with Abdul El-Sayed? What about what about
Francesca Hong?
Francesca Hong, exactly, right? Wisconsin. What about Milot Kiros? Okay, Colorado. Obviously, Colorado is a blue state, but it's not, a coastal elite place. It's like middle of the mountain. It's West Rockies, but it's not. It's Middle America is what I'm trying to say.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? It is, in places like Maine, when Troy Jackson's able to clean up and curb stomp, and now multiple incumbent Susan Collins. 18 years she'll have been in the Senate, if you could fucking believe that. Maybe even longer.
Yep, 100%. So let's hear a little bit more of his analysis, or whatever you want to call this.
Noticed is that a lot of these people, depending on what audience they're talking to, they sometimes want to undersell the amount of ideological heterodoxy that they've displayed in their campaigns. Because the easiest way to raise money if you're running for re-election in Kentucky is to kind of tell liberal donors in coastal cities, I'm a magician. I just won in Kentucky because I've got a cool accent. But Andy Beshear rejected a Sierra Club endorsement. And he got the United Mine Workers, who have stopped endorsing Democrats in national politics, to endorse him. And that's because he has a position on the use of coal.
We got to get Democrats that are in the pocket of big coal. That's the path to victory, Zach. Fuck the Sierra Club. Fuck these environmentalists. Let's find someone who's thoroughly corrupt. Let's get Joe Manchin back.
The black lung Democrats.
Yeah.
That I don't really agree with, but that people in Kentucky do agree with. And that's the truth about how Andy Beshear wins votes in Kentucky.
I'm pretty sure Andy Beshear winning votes actually has more to do with the fact that he's from a political dynasty. His father was, I think, previously the governor of Kentucky. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad, but he definitely comes from a political dynasty that made it more possible for him to win in that state. Not that he isn't talented, not that he doesn't have some, charm and charisma or whatever, but I don't think that's the sole reason why.
Steve Beshear was the 61st governor of Kentucky. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So that's right. He's Andy Beshear proves that the only way to win as a Democrat is to cuddle up to big coal and be totally down with fossil fuel extraction, and that's why he won. Thanks a lot.
Okay, let's try this raid out. Let's see, Pep Talks TV. Let's do that.